Yesterday, I watched my former boss, William Lee's commencement speech at Peking University. In the entire speech, he went against the usual pattern. Instead of sharing success stories, he talked a lot about low points in his life. He talked about the most difficult period of Bit Auto, the hardest moments at NIO, and the pressure and challenges in entrepreneurship that most people never see. After watching the full speech, what really stayed in my mind was a sense of admiration and reflection. How strong does a person's inner world have to be to keep standing up again and again after being knocked down repeatedly? At this point, I also want to talk about Bing himself. At NIO, very few people actually call him Mr. Li or Chairman Li. Most people simply call him Bing. It literally means Brother Bing, which shows how close he is to employees and users. It's a very informal, friendly way of saying Mr. Li. This is not just a form of address. It feels more like part of the company culture. There is almost no sense of distance between him and employees or users. He shows up at user events, talks directly with the community, and seriously reads feedback and suggestions from employees. Many users, when they meet him for the first time, often feel that he doesn't look like the founder of a large automobile company, but more like someone who is willing to sit down and have a real conversation with you. To a large extent, the user culture and community culture at NIO were built from this kind of equal and sincere communication. I think this is a very special kind of personal charm he has, not because of his position, but because of his sincerity. This kind of sincerity makes people willing to trust him and willing to follow him into long-term and difficult journeys. The reason so many people support NIO and support him is not only because of the product or the business model, but because they believe this is a sincere person and he truly believes in what he is doing. The ability to fall down again and again and still stand back up. Over the years, Bing has experienced industry admiration and also widespread skepticism online. He has had moments of peak success and moments when the company was close to survival pressure. But what I admire is never just his success, it is his resilience. That kind of ability to still believe in moving forward after hitting the lowest point. And I think that might also be the reason why he mentioned looking inward in his speech. So when I joined NIO back then, what really attracted me was not only the product itself, but the company culture and the atmosphere between people. Because I realized that many of the values they emphasize are very aligned with what I have believed throughout my career. They emphasize user value, long-term relationships, and creating value through service. And these are exactly the things I have always believed in. My career started in automotive after-sales service. Many people think after-sales and sales are two completely different roles, but to me, the underlying logic is actually the same. I worked in after-sales for almost 8 years, and then in sales for more than 7 years. Over these years, I have dealt with all kinds of customers and all kinds of problems. And I have always held one very clear belief. Sales is never just about selling products. It is not about convincing customers. The real value of sales is understanding customers' needs and helping them find the solution that suits them best. And its core, it is service. It is communication And it is a process of building trust. Recently, I actually gained a deeper understanding of all of this, whether in work, study, or life. I have increasingly felt that a person's real competitiveness is not education, not resources, and not even pure capability. Because capability can be learned, experience can be accumulated, resources can be changed with the environment. But there's one thing that matters deeply: inner strength. It is not difficult to be excellent in good times. What is truly difficult is staying clear-minded in low moments, still trusting your judgment when others doubt you, still taking action when things don't go as expected, and still having the courage to start again after failure. This ability is far more valuable than success itself, because success often contains luck, but coming back from the lowest point, that depends on yourself only. So, when Binger mentioned looking inward in his speech, I had my own interpretation. To me, looking inward is not some abstract concept, and it is not about searching for a fixed answer. On the contrary, it means when facing decisions, are you willing to listen to your true inner voice? When facing difficulties, do you still believe in your own value? When facing external options, can you still maintain independent thinking? Most of the time, we are constantly looking outward for answers, for success defined by others, for lives defined by others, for paths considered correct by others. But the real question is, what kind of person do you actually want to become? Binger has an English name, William. Many years ago, he broke it down into 3 words: will I am. Who will I become? Who do I want to become? At first, I thought it was just an interesting word game. But looking back now, especially after watching his Peking University speech, I feel it have a very subtle connection with looking inward. Because life is not only about finding answers, it is about shaping yourself. Through every choice you make, every decision you make today, every low point you experienced, every obstacle you overcome, all of these will eventually become the person you are in the future. Becoming yourself. Maybe that is the true meaning of looking inward. Not looking for answers outside, but gradually becoming the person you want to be through every choice you make. That's all for today. See you in the next video.